All right. Um, Sega man, thank you for joining on this extremely rare midday afternoon.
Yeah, my pleasure, brother.
Yeah. Some pretty big breaking news from from Xbox basically, and I just want to talk about it real quick. Because I won't have time to talk about it later. And it's this, sometimes every once in a while, Sega man, when big news drops, you just gotta talk about it then and there when you can, get your thoughts out, and move on. Because some rare unfortunate news from Xbox, man, from Microsoft today, and heartbreaking for me too, for me personally. And yeah, this is going to warrant to me. It's going to warrant a lot of discussion, a lot of get my thoughts out there type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that you could join me. I sent the links out to a couple other people, so if they could join, that would also be great. But but yeah, let's just jump right into it, man. The very unfortunate news that um Microsoft, as of today, is closing Arkane Studios, who made Redfall. This one really surprised me. Tango Gameworks, who made Hi-Fi Rush, and more. And more, as I was reading, was I think a mobile studio and Roundhouse Games joining ZeniMax Online for Elder Scrolls. So yeah, the big two, pretty much the death of Redfall, Arkane Austin, the death of Tango Gameworks and Hi-Fi Rush. And did you beat Hi-Fi Rush?
I did not beat it, brother Unlimited, but I think halfway through, and
Yeah.
I enjoyed the game.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it. It was for me a top three game of last year. Loved every second of it. Beat it on a live stream I did on my own YouTube channel. Thought the game was absolutely fantastic, man.
And you
So it's
could buy that game
heartbreaking.
physical, right?
I didn't get a chance to buy it physical because it was done through limited run games for a short time.
Yeah.
When I just didn't, you know how it is. There's not always um there's not always a time to buy, to buy everything. So
Right.
yeah, so
Right.
I didn't get it. I only got it digital. But this is just the unfortunate news that came out today. I want to talk about it real quick, get our thoughts and then keep it moving. And hopefully we could add just a little perspective, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Because anytime a big news like this happens, especially towards Xbox, this is the moment where even me being as disconnected as I am, I already know everybody's losing their mind. You're gonna get the hot takes and everything. So we're gonna talk about it. I want to get my thoughts out because, like I said, I had a lot of thoughts, and the chat seems to have a lot saying so far. So I'm a let's go and chat with the chat a little bit. So if you guys don't mind, give me about an hour of your time. And E-Rock, is that you who just joined?
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey, what's up, E-Rock? Thank you
What's
for
up,
joining.
E-Rock? What's up,
So
brother?
so yeah, so E-Rock is aware of this as well. That unfortunately today it came out that Xbox closed Arkane Austin, developers of Redfall. Uh, this one really surprised me. The Hi-Fi Rush developer Tango Gameworks and a couple other studios. And and also if you got the DLC for Redfall, they're gonna give you some type of refund for it. So look out for that for anybody that got that. But yeah, man, um, Sega man, what are your initial thoughts about this, man? Because this news kind of blew me away. This news kind of blew me away, and a big reason it blew me away is because maybe a week or two ago, Xbox is out here saying that hey, they had a great quarter, one of their best quarters ever, and it seems like everything was going was going in the right direction, right? So here we are a few couple weeks later, you see that they're cutting fat, cutting studios, killing games, and so it could feel like a bit of a disconnect, if you will. So what is your initial thoughts, man?
Well, brother Unlimited, and my brother, my brother E-Rock, the Don King of X, man. You know what, man? I think it's all PlayStation's fault, man. That game went over there. They didn't support it, man. It's their fault, bro.
Yeah,
They're the reason why that they're closing, man. It's the games going over to the other side, man. They don't support the games. They didn't help out, man. So I'm blaming PlayStation and the PlayStation ponies, man. It's their fault, man. Why y'all see? We give you games. we give you games, and look what happens, man. We
Mhm.
try to help you guys out, and now Phil and them and all, and got to close studios because you didn't help support the game, man. It's the Pony Bot's fault.
Yeah.
But no,
Hey, sorry to cut you off, but Zink, I sent you the link if you want to join.
No, but I'm just clowning, guys. But you know what? Maybe it's business, man. You know, things happen. You know, the thing that just happened. You know, that just happened. You know, with Sony, it just happened a couple of days ago. You know what I mean? With their what's their game called again?
Helldivers.
Helldivers. You know, Hell Bombers. You know, hey, things happen,
that PC
man.
game.
Yeah, right. Things happen, man. You know what? Unlimited and brother E-Rock, we gotta put the Teflon vest on because we're gonna get attacked, man. It's just brand new, and I'm glad Unlimited brought it to my attention while I was eating lunch. I was like, man, I'm getting ready for work soon, and I got this link from Unlimited. I'm like, oh man, wow, bruh. Redfall and I guess some other games and stuff too. But hey, I mean, you know, it is what it is, man. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of our brothers are gonna probably be upset about this happening. Some of our brothers were probably expecting a hi-fi rush too because it was a great game.
Excellent game.
Right. We all supported it. We all played it, even if we bought it digitally or we played it on Game Pass. We still are proving and showing that we support Microsoft and the game studios that are up under it. You know what I mean? We do support it. And yes, there's going to be some people that are going to be really upset, you know, that they won't see a hi-fi rush too. But again, there could be things behind it, though, brothers. There could be things behind it, why they're closing and different things like that. It could be various of things why it's closing. So, you know, some people say because of Fallout, you know, different things they want to capitalize on more, you know, different things like that. But, hey, I mean, that's the way it is. So what I say you do, all right, if you haven't played Hi-Fi Rush and great games like Redfall, get on the game, support the game, buy the game, or play it on Game Pass, man.
Yeah.
And enjoy the games that we have brung you. You know what I mean? As a service with Ultimate Game Pass, man. Things happen, bro. You know, but there's nothing that we can do about it. We could talk about it and everything. And yes, my brother Unlimited is very opinionated, and I can't wait to hear what him and E-Rock have to say about about further into why this happened. But like I'm saying, it's business, man, and it just happens. Just enjoy what you got. Enjoy what you got because we're still getting great games. We still got great things that are going to be going on for Xbox. But unfortunately, it's a shame what happened to Hi-Fi Rush and things like Redfall and some studios up under Microsoft. But, you know, we got to move on, man. But I'm not upset, but I was just shocked, Unlimited. When you sent me that link, I was just shocked to hear that. You know, I'm like, man, these games really did good over on Xbox. You know what I mean? Did very well, sold very well, played very well on Ultimate Game Pass. But there could be something else behind it, brother E-Rock and Unlimited. So that's what I got to say about it, brothers. You know, we got to move on, bro. You know, it's just the way it is, man. Thoughts out to the chat.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely, man. And I appreciate the mature response. And it's just Arkane Austin, not any other Arkane studio Lion who's making what game they're making? The Marvel game that Blade.
Yeah.
Blade is cool. Blade is cool. E-Rock, man. E-Rock, you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, surprisingly, very rarely is big news negative news for Xbox, right? But here's something I would have never guessed this coming a mile away, especially with Tango Gameworks. You know, Hi-Fi Rush was well received. They said, you know, I remember Eric Greenberg saying it did well and they're happy with the success and everything. And it was one of the 4 games that they chose to make multi-plat, which we know that didn't work. And for those who don't know, the Hi-Fi Rush did so bad on PlayStation, didn't even crack their top 100. So let's kind of skip, you know, on how that endeavor didn't work. But it's just you know, it's crazy, E-Rock. A great game releases, and the studio's gone a year later. You know, so what was your initial thoughts when you saw this, man?
I mean, I saw the article about an hour ago. By the way, man, this is the fastest set up podcast in history.
Yeah.
You got the news about an hour ago and was like, bam.
Yes.
I mean, yo,
Unlimited's on point, brother. Unlimited's
sometimes
on
you got to
point.
jump on it when it's hot, man. Sometimes you just don't. You just don't wait on it. Just talk about it, get it out the way, and move on.
And of course, right away, because I got YouTube up on my television, and right away, the usual suspects, Dreamcast guy with his acne riddled face, Bethesda, Xbox shut down, Xbox sucks. Microsoft shuts down the best Bethesda studio. Really, Dreamcast guy? Hold on, really, Dreamcast guy? Were they the best? Did you play Hi-Fi Rush, or were you one of the guys that was bitching about Redfall? See, like this is why I'm so blissfully glad that I'm no longer really involved in this YouTube shit and no longer involved in this whole gaming space, except for hanging out with you guys, because everybody's such a fucking fraud. It's such a joke. It's so fucking ridiculous. And like Dreamcast guy, you didn't give a shit about Redfall. You was one of the guys clowning Redfall, right? And clowning probably Hi-Fi Rush. Why does Xbox suck, right? Because they did was business, right? Yep. And I'm not going to sit here and defend Xbox. I was blasting them a couple of weeks ago, if you remember, for several things. But like, we just saw, we see huge companies, Apple, all these huge companies do cuts all the time. If you follow wrestling, you just saw WWE fire, like, again, another 40, 50 people.
Oh, wow, really?
Right after WrestleMania 40, which was their most profitable WrestleMania ever, which I'm proud of because it took place here in Philadelphia. But like their most, a whole bunch of shit could have went wrong with that, but that's a whole other subject. But I mean, it went off about a hitch. It was the most profitable WrestleMania ever. The stockholders are happy, and they still fire people, right? So I learned. I understand, Shinzo. It absolutely sucks, but like my thing is like, I always want to go back to a year ago or a year and a half ago when I was highly upset that my favorite company of all time, Warner Brothers, basically said fuck me and fuck everybody that supported the DC EU, the DC universe for the last 10 years. Like, fuck you, fuck your feelings. We firing we letting Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, and Ben Affleck go, and we're hiring this dickhead James Gunn to start this whole new. We're rebooting. Basically, fuck you, fuck your feelings, and we don't care if you're upset. So basically, that told me, like, well, since you don't care about me, you don't get no more of my money, and I don't personally invest in you. Mm-hmm. I love Microsoft, but I can't personally invest in this stuff because this just business. But okay, yeah, Hi-Fi Rush is shocking, but I mean, Redfall, for whatever reason, I enjoyed the hell out of it. I stand by what I said last year. It was a great game. I fucking enjoyed it. I like the open world. I thought it was awesome. Yep. But it underperformed, right? And so I understand, Shinzo. I understand. I'm not a businessman, but from a gamer point of view, this is dumb as fuck. I get it. Shinzo, my dude, respect. I feel all of that. But like, I could see if this was, and I'll get to my point in a second, because I don't want to ramble on aimlessly. I can understand if this was Microsoft or Xbox circa 2017. I can understand if this was Microsoft or Xbox circa 2016, right? When they canceled, when they closed Lionhead Studios, and when they canceled Fable Legends, and that game with the dragon that everybody claimed they wanted, that got canceled. I could see there was that, right? But this is a completely different Xbox. This is an Xbox that's leveraged out of the ass with so many games. They have 23 studios. They have at least 30 to 40 games coming over the next 3 to 4 years. Somebody is going to get cut. There's going to be cuts. Heads are going to roll. Hell, man, the NFL, after the preseason, they get rid of a whole bunch of guys. This shit happens, man. It just sucks. It's you. It just sucks that you have to hear about it. But this is what it is, man. The gaming industry is I don't know who we were talking to. I don't know whether we were talking to Sega Forever, or whether we were, I don't know where we were on your podcast, Sega Forever. Gaming right now is at a precipice. Something is going on, and I hear you, Anthony Chipmunk. Not a good look, to be honest. But what the fuck are they supposed to do? Unlimited Production and I both worked in the private sector. Okay, him for his company and me for various companies since the 90s. Okay, I was a business manager in the early 90s for a security company, and they did not give a fuck. They got rid of employees, they got rid of partners, they got rid of vendors. In the private sector, you have to deliver results or you're gone. And Arkane Austin did not deliver results. Whether, I mean, it is what it is. You know, of course, the Sony PlayStation fans, and that's what this is all about, really. The Sony PlayStation fans, dickheads like Dreamcast guy, dumbasses like all of these usual Xbox haters are going to talk shit when they need to be shutting the fuck up because they just dealt with their own crisis not even 24 hours ago with Helldivers.
Yep.
Not even 24 hours ago with Helldivers. The only reason why Sony bent was because they was about to see a huge loss in money over in Europe and overseas. That's the only reason why those Japs bent. That's it. But Microsoft had to close a few studios, so oh my God, Microsoft is evil. Look, man, gaming is at a precipice. Unlimited Production. I said this with you and Sega Forever. These games are too expensive. The development cycles are too long.
You got that right.
We are no longer in the days where Phil Spencer and them could give a studio $80 million to take all week to develop games, to order pizzas, order Ubers, you know, play Pokemon, secretly closet develop games on the side. Those days are over. You either deliver or you don't. And sometimes when you deliver like Hi-Fi Rush, your studio may get closed down. It is what it is. I'd rather them close two of the lesser studios, two of the lesser games, and focus on Elder Scrolls 6, focus on getting Starfield DLC out there, focus on Indiana Jones, focus on your strengths, focus on the next years of war. And that's all companies do, man. They repivot and they restructure. That's all it is, man, is a repivoting. But of course, people will make a bigger deal out of it. How do I feel about it? I really don't have no feelings about it whatsoever. Like, I mean, I'm sure these people will all land on their feet. I mean, these people are smart. They're developers. They'll get jobs somewhere else. They'll land on their feet. I mean, I hate to be a dickhead, Sega man, and Unlimited Production, but these developers that work for these companies are better leveraged and better resumed up than you or I are. So, I mean, you know, it is what it is. Other Zinc says it's not a good look, but what would be a good look? I just need somebody, and I don't know, God damn it, Iraq, you're mighty combative this month. Somebody tell me what would be a good look. What would be a good look? Over at World Wrestling Entertainment, what would be a good look? Man, we hired like 976 wrestlers. Do we keep paying all these motherfuckers, or do we let 348 of them go? Like, what would be a good look? Some Unlimited Production. You're smart. You're a business man. You explain to me what would be a good look. Well, Redfall failed miserably. Not from us not marketing it. We marketed the hell out of it. It did release with bugs on the PC, and it wasn't up to the quality that Microsoft demands from their game. So what would be a good look? I don't understand. Now, yeah, Hi-Fi Rush, that kind of sucks because that game was fucking awesome. But it is what it is. Sometimes you might be the best running back on your team and still get fucking traded. I mean, back in the early 2000s, the Sixers made trades that made no fucking sense. Like, yo, why are you trading him? We need him to help Allen Iverson. But he's traded anyway. Sorry. It is what it the fucking is, man. It's just business. And lately, the video game business has been suffering. These games have not been making the money that they should make. And even when you got $1 trillion company like Microsoft and Xbox that are posting huge numbers, that's usually Unlimited Production because you're in business. When the company is in the black and doing good, that's usually when the cuts come, man. that's usually when they start cleaning house. It is what it is, man. So, you know, I used to let shit like this get me upset, and I probably would have a few months ago. But like now, I see how businesses work, and all across the board, whether it's Microsoft, whether it's Apple, whether it's WWE, whether it's the NFL, whether it's sports branding companies or consulting firms, it's just cuts all across the board. Hell, I mean, I don't want to get off topic, but the fast food industry right now is undergoing a crisis.
Yeah,
they've raised prices because they've raised wages, which was a good thing, but they've had to raise prices, and now fast food is so high, nobody wants to buy fast food, and McDonald's is deciding whether they got to close stores or not soon. You know, they're trying to figure out how to avert a catastrophe. This is widespread across America. So you got this Microsoft, it exists in this microcosm of fucking gaming, closing a couple of studios, and everybody Dreamcast go, oh my god, Microsoft sucks, it's terrible. You know what sucks? The fact that you have not figured out the clue in your quest to fight your acne. Nigga, fight that acne and stop worrying about what the fuck Microsoft.
The bacteria on his face be traveling like the first people landed on the moon.
That nigga is OxyClean on his face. That's
You know what, fellas? This was the whole doggone thing, and this is what we always had talked about. Okay, you got these damn YouTubers come out these damn channels, and they talk bad about damn games all the damn time.
Mm-hmm. Come on, Chuck. Come on, please.
Don't even give a game a chance to succeed, and that is the problem. You do not get a game to succeed, and that's the problem. Hey, it's just not them. The media is part of the problem too.
Come on, Chuck.
Because you remember, hey, all of us back in the doggone day, maybe not you, Ultimate, because you might be a little bit too young. But the thing about it is, I'm not going to say that about you because you do play games. But the thing about it, back in the doggone day, dude, we used to go to the doggone stores. We used to go to GameStop. We used to go to all these doggone stores, and that's all we did was talk about video games. Sometimes, hell, I might go and spend a whole damn day in the damn video game. At the damn store, in the video store. So to me, a part of it, the media is the reason why that some of this stuff is not posted, just like you said. Redfall is a good game, but the thing about it is, it was dead on arrival because people get their feelings hurt because it's not in 60 frames per second.
Come on, Chuck. Come on.
I'm like, can you really tell the difference? You can't tell the difference between 60 and 30.
Come on, really? Chuck. Come on.
I mean, hey, Chuck.
Chuck, let me ask you real quick. How the fuck are they giving a fuck about Redfall when all y'all YouTubers dog walked it before it even came out? Come on now, you can't have it both ways. So they closed the studio. You got what the fuck you wanted. Shut the fuck up.
I mean, they dog walked the hell out of the game that Unlimited really do love. The Suicide Squad versus Justice League. I'm like,
Gotham Knights.
The game even came out. So I don't want to hear this shit about not, we got to play our games. But some of us are, but some of them are just not. And that's the reason why, the media is some of the reason why this shit's going down. Basically, in it point blank. Okay, and then we go talk about PlayStation. Okay, PlayStation got what, 52 million systems allegedly saying that they got out there. They're not even playing their games. So if they're not playing their games, what's going to happen? They're gonna take a hit too. So hey, don't think that what Microsoft just did, that Sony ain't gonna do the same damn thing too, because they're gonna have to, because you ain't playing your damn games, and that's sad. But the thing about it is, it's like my doggone job. It's like we heard today. I mean, we had like a little inspection over our job and everything. We did real good on the inspection, but all of a sudden, since they penny pitching on the jobs and people's not hiring on the jobs,
yes sir,
no more, they penny pitching. So what they're gonna do to us? They say if when the government decide to hire, but right now they ain't hiring nobody right now. They're on a freeze right now because of what's going on with the economy. But what's going on with the economy is this. is that you got all these doggone folks out there. You know, I'm sorry. I mean, they penny pitch like a son of a gun too, man. So instead of us, you know, they try to cut out the midnight shift. The shift that I'm on right now, they kind of cut the midnight shift out. But I'll still be working. But they, instead of them having 3 shifts, they think about going down to 2 shifts. And the only reason why they're going down to 2 shifts because on the midnight shift, they got to pay night differential. They got to pay the night differential. And there's so many doggone places now, like in Las Vegas, I mean, like in St. Louis, they got 2 shifts now. So when they went down to 2 shifts, that means that they don't have to pay the night differential no more. So that's what it's all about. They penny pitching the people, period. And that's a damn shame. But getting back, I mean, and that's what's going on. That's what's going on with the VA. That's what's going on with the government right now. But really, to tell you the truth, what's going on in this, I mean, what's going on with these video games, people need to just shut the fuck up and play their video games. Stop arguing. Stop bickering. Stop listening to these YouTubers that hate video games. Because like Ultimate said, a long doggone time ago, you think about it. Half these people that bickering and all that stuff, some of them don't even have a system. They don't even have a system. So what they talking about? I mean, dude, I just don't get it. I mean, man, to me, video games is fun back in the day, but they making it so much like political crap over no reason. I'm like, play the game. I mean, enjoy it. And that's what it's all about. Just enjoy the game. And I just don't understand it, man.
I just find the hypocrisy funny that that all of a sudden you got a guy like Dreamcast guy that's suddenly out of the blue, and then all these YouTubers will come out of the woodworks. Oh, Microsoft closed down these studios, right, and we got y'all on tape. We got receipts of y'all dogging out Hi-Fi Rush and Redfall a year ago. We got receipts.
Great, dogging them all out. You know, I know Unlimited got them receipts on them dogging out Just League, the Suicide Squad,
Gotham Knights.
Gotham Knights. And anything that's not a PlayStation superhero game they'd hate.
Was it Gotham Knights they were complaining about that was 30 frames per second?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I said, listen, I said with both Suicide Squad and Gotham Knights, they're both going to fail. WB Games is going to remaster Batman games forever.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be the only thing that they'll have left, after all this. By the way, chat, no, only Arkane Austin is shutting down, and yeah, unfortunately, Tango Gameworks is completely gone. For those of you asking in the chat, but continue, Tuck.
But I mean, I just don't get it because it's just like you said, like that new Star Wars game's come out in August. The game come out in August,
and they hate that game already.
Tuck, they put the boots. They're putting the boots to that now. You actually got guys saying the new Star Wars game sucks. How do you know? No one's played it yet.
Yeah,
nobody ain't playing it.
Yeah, how you know?
So to me, the hatred, man, just to me, the hatred on video games is so bad now. People don't even enjoy video games. You know, I mean, Unlimited. You know, me and you always have talked about that, and I always have said that I want you to keep your show going on. But you know what? At this point, I can't blame you. I couldn't blame you. I couldn't blame you at all because it's getting down to the point that, gee whiz, hell, it's all about gaming. It's all about enjoying the game. But it's like, I don't know, man.
It's a bunch of miserable assholes in the gaming media on YouTube, and it's across all entertainment, gaming, movies, entertainment. I call certain shit out when certain shit sucks. Certain movies, certain videos do dumb shit. But I don't wake up every day as miserable as these fucking guys. These guys are fucking miserable. And these same people that are dissing the Star Wars game and trying to put the boots to it like they did Redfall, let's just say that Ubisoft closed up, right? They'll be the first ones saying, oh, I can't believe Microsoft will ever close down Ubisoft. They're evil. Wait a minute. It wasn't, y'all were saying for the longest that Ubisoft sucks, that Redfall sucks. Listen, to all of you out there in the comment section, and whoever's listening to this podcast, to all you guys, Dreamcast guy, the media, you can't fucking have it both ways. You can't be on both sides of the fence. Sega man, pick a side of the fence to be on. That's all I'm saying. Right. Pick a side of the motherfucking fence to be on. That's it. I can't, you know, I can't ask Apple, say Apple sucks one day, and then the next breath say Apple they need to do better. Like, you can't be on both. Pick a side of the fence, motherfucker. And that's why I'm so glad to not deal with these guys. And like Tuck said, Unlimited Production, you know, that nigga was almost out a few months ago. He said, look, man, I'm done with this shit. And I wouldn't blame him. Who would want to waste their fucking time, right, on this shit? You build a YouTube channel. You're trying to be one of the few guys out here like Unlimited Productions, Sega Man, Hebot, Tuck, myself. You try to be one of the few guys out here telling the truth. And number one, you get no traction. Number one, the algorithm is only set up to help out fucking them white boys. It is what it is. Don't be mad at me because I fucking said it. It is what it is. Prove me the fuck wrong. Prove me wrong. The algorithm ain't set up to help us the fuck out because us black YouTubers don't help each other the fuck out. Number one. So it's like, well, E-Rock, you just mad that your channel got shut down. Man, I need to be fucking sucking YouTube's balls for setting me free. Shit. I ain't got to get up and make no videos answering Dreamcast guy. I ain't got to deal with this shit no more. I ain't got to get migraine headaches arguing with dickheads like, oh no, it's Alex. So I should be thanking YouTube, man, because look at this shit. It ain't even been an hour since this news came out. And there's Dreamcast guy with his pimpled face. Oh, Xbox sucks. They closed down 2 studios with 2 games, Unlimited Production, that I didn't give a fuck about and I dog walked. If you can explain to me these guys' motivation other than clicks and fucking and revenue, I would like an explanation because it's all bullshit, man. It's all bullshit. This shit happens in business all the time. Where you just defending Microsoft. I don't give a fuck about Microsoft, to be honest. They're making trillions of dollars. I'm not seeing none of that shit. I don't have no skin in that fucking game other than being a consumer, other than being a mindless drone who buys their fucking product. This shit don't affect me. I'm not emotionally fucking attached to this shit. Now I'll be kind of miffed if Indiana Jones gets canceled. But as Unlimited Production said to me a while ago with the DC shit, E-Rock, there's nothing you can do about it. I understand you invested 10 years of your fucking life in the DCEU, defending the DCEU from these assholes out here. But the motherfuckers that's in charge of this shit don't give a fuck about it. So why would you care? Why do all of a sudden y'all give a fuck about Redfall and Hi-Fi Rush when y'all dog walk fucking Redfall and Hi-Fi Rush?
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, it's kind of crazy. I never would have thought a Tuesday at 11 a.m. would have got the whole Avengers together, but other Zinc and Hebot has made it in.
Man.
So Zinc, let me get your thoughts on.
Man.
Let me get your thoughts on this. I know that you out here, man. You driving by, most likely. So I got
I am.
Before you leave.
I am. I'm actually preparing for a presentation here, a pretty big one tomorrow that I have to do today. But anyway, you know what? I want to jump on Tuck. Tuck always pulls shit out of his ass that has context. The media hated the shit out of Redfall and Bethesda. The very day they said, "Hey, we're gonna stop production of the PlayStation version." All of the hate started. It's one of the main reasons I can't stand Ryan McCaffrey, because he hated Coulter when they made that Halo movie before Unlimited cut me off for mentioning Halo. But he started hating on Halo way back then when they made that Halo movie a long ass time ago, a prelude to Halo 4. But what Tuck is talking about, all of the media, every single one of these motherfuckers hated. And people were shocked because no one goes at ACG. ACG, I said before, he made me buy the game. I wasn't even going to buy it. But when he said, this is the worst game I ever played, broke embargo to say it, I went downstairs and bought the $100 edition. Then sure enough, played the game in a single player. And dude, that that shit was bad as hell to me. And here's the thing, like piggybacking off the top, one of the things Microsoft should stop doing is stop dropping it on PC first. Because I didn't experience all of those problems that those PC players had.
None of us
I did not.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't experience all of that bullshit they were talking. You got to watch that. When someone says there's a problem, you have to see where they're playing that damn game. I'm going to hurry up and be quick. Also, Ryan McCaffrey, this son of a bitch. He said he's doing, this is what meant, it's only been a few times I've been mad at Microsoft. And I do have skin in the game with Microsoft. I did invest in Microsoft. But it's not only that, it's because I knew those jokers way back when I was in college. Studied them for 4 years. But Ryan McCaffrey just bragged about he's going to interview Phil Spencer at E3. These are the same motherfuckers. And this is why I'm going to forever be relentless against the media and YouTubers. Dude, nobody's safe. I remember, do you guys remember about 2 or 3 years ago when they were hating on E3? E3 is our Christmas, dude.
Yep.
This is what we had. They were hating on the E3 committee just so they could insert themselves. They succeeded. Now no one's hating on the June show now. You hear that shit? You remember when a shitty ass PlayStation, those pieces of shit, they said we're not going to E3.
The second their favorite companies were no longer going to E3, they turned against it.
Correct. And then they tried to make excuses for it, saying, they don't need it. E3 needs them. And Sony couldn't afford it. That was the prelude to Sony showing us that they don't have any money. It's all a fucking myth. And shout out to Brazil. I'm going to always shout that legislature out because they said Sony ain't shit. Hey, they revealed everything that happened in court with Sony. But Ryan McCaffrey is going to have an interview, and this is where Phil pisses me off. I wouldn't grab this son of a bitch in an interview. Hey, I think you should remember E-Rock. You remember when Jim Gray was dogging out the athletes, and he made a mistake and dogged out Jordan for some bullshit, and even the baseball players wouldn't talk to Jim Gray. Mm-hmm. And it killed Jim Gray's, Jim Gray is a sports reporter, but it killed Jim Gray. Yeah. And, and like E-Rock was talking about how companies make their money. Dude, look, I really saved our grade in college. Business policy and decision making is the last class we have. It's hard as a bitch. It takes a group of kids. You run this company. This girl entered our information in the computer wrong and fucked everything up. And this is what you're talking about, E-Rock. It's big business. I urged the group to fire 2 entire divisions of our employees in this program, and it saved us. It gave us extra working capital. We were able to reinvest in other things, and we wound up winning the business policy and decision making game. And in the College of Business, that is massive. But these are some of the things that happen. But Matt Booty, I'm going to go full circle. Matt Booty said in Jeff Grubb's face, Redfall made its money. If Redfall made its money, why is Arkane being dispersed like that? Now, granted, some of these...
I got it. I might have an answer to that. It might be an answer, at least from something that I'm reading right now, that might answer that question.
Okay, and one of those things, man, I was going to say something else about that, but at least they're going. That's what I was going to say. At least they're going to be placed in other divisions within Xbox. But at the same time, people remember this: Activision was in trouble before Microsoft bought them, but ZeniMax were in trouble before Microsoft bought them. Both of those companies were in trouble. So something was going to give at some point. But of course, I'm disappointed. And when I'm saying it's a bad look, like I don't know who said that. It's just Noli Shane G, one of the fellas in the chat.
It was the homie with the long username.
Okay, well, it's a bad look, especially when Helldivers was getting all of this damn smoke from the mismanagement of Sony. Dude, I was I slept long. I said, yeah, Sony is getting their ass smoked by the PC community because Ryan McCaffrey and Jason Schreier and all of those jokers cannot protect Sony from the PC community because there's a bunch of assholes over there. But shout out to them. They like me. I'll never stop smacking Sony across the lips. But hey, man, I got to get out of here. But I'm going to enjoy the show. I'm going to push some shit back so I could listen to the rest of y'all talk shit. Hey, man, y'all have a good show.
Hey, man. Yo, Zink, it was so great to have you around because it feels like it's been forever since you've been able to hang with us. But Hebot, the world's most powerful gamer, you there?
Oh yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, give your thoughts. I've been holding my tongue this whole time on my personal thoughts. I've been letting everybody speak, so I'm obviously passing the mic to you, Hebot. Huge news. Very rarely do we get this type of news towards Xbox where they're closing studios, canceled a couple of games, moving teams to other studios to be in other teams and all the other stuff. You know how these corporate moves be. So what are your thoughts on the closures? Redfall, for example, Redfall is dead to the point where if you're like me and bought the Bite Back edition, they're going to do some form of refund for that. You're not getting the DLC characters. And then Hi-Fi Rush, which surprised the fuck out of me. Tango Gameworks was closed down as well. So what are your thoughts on it, man?
I mean, what is typical Xbox? Whenever something goes good, they always got something bad, right? I mean, it's smart that they did it when Sony's also getting flack. But you see how immediately everybody came out and started talking, even fucking Paul Tassi. Everybody started talking about it, right? As soon as it was announced, immediately, because that's all they love to do. As soon as it's negative Xbox, they don't want to talk about it. But the funny thing is how they all talking about it like they gave a fuck.
Hey, you sound a little off there, Hebot.
Yeah, you dropping out.
I don't know if you're speaking away from the mic or what.
I'm sorry. How do I sound now? I don't know.
Yeah, you sound a lot better now.
It's just funny how everybody's trying to act like they give a fuck, right? When they didn't care and they were the first ones throwing the smoke at Redfall, right?
Come on.
The same way they were praising Hi-Fi Rush, but yet the numbers weren't there, right?
Right.
So again, this is there's several things. There's several layers to this. One, more than likely because Redfall was probably the weakest link, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bethesda at this point, when they, with the backlash, not really doing well with Redfall as much as they wanted it to, even though they probably made money back, but they probably didn't make numbers the way they wanted to. And also it was probably something that came before they made the purchase. That Arkane was already kind of at its last limb, and they were trying to liquidate certain things because we all know that before they bought Bethesda, they already had internal problems where they needed to do some internal adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something that probably Microsoft is trying to avoid, right? And they were trying to avoid it for a while, but they kept on moving things here, moving things there. And it's probably one of the reasons why they put those fucking stupid games on PlayStation, right? Trying to find a way to get some revenue to make up for the loss of certain things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, because the PlayStation community didn't give a fuck about the games, they didn't buy them, they're not buying them, that's not going to help them anyway, right? But it's funny how the media wants to act like they gave a fuck about Redfall. They're the reasons why Redfall did bad. Right? At least perception-wise, right? At least as far as headlines and how it looked. Because they're the first one that, Redfall's a piece of garbage! Shit's garbage! Shit! And like others said, a few minutes before I came in, he made a valid and excellent point that I was going to bring up anyway. Most of the time when games are talked about, when they do bad, like Quantum Break, like Alan Wake did, like I'm trying to remember some other stuff off the top of my head. A lot of games that they say that do bad or that have problems like buggy issues and shit like that. Most of the time it's because they're on the PC, right? It's the PC version, like Batman. Remember Batman? Arkham?
I think you said that.
When they had to fucking take it completely out and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually the PC version that has bugs and issues because the PC version is the hardest version to create, even though people think it's the easiest, and it's not because the PC version is the one that has too many variables. Because PC motherfuckers always have different types of architecture from the hardware they're using, the graphic card, the fans, even the certain amount of dedicated RAM, which is called the DDR RAM, right? The certain types of speed rate, whatever the case may be, right? And even how much memory they have allocated. The PCs are an open resource. It's called an open resource for a reason. So a lot of guys try to run these games at like ultra high settings, super maxed out resolution with super high frame rate, and they get chugged and they start chugging and they start getting glitches and like frame rate issues or whatever the case may be because they don't have the right specification for the games, right? To run them correctly. And this is why they encounter these issues. But then when they talk about it as a whole, as a generalized subject in the goddamn media or in social, they make it seem as, oh, it's the game in general, like for every game. Because most people that played the game on Xbox consoles, most of them said they didn't encounter many issues, that they almost had no issues. Some people said they had no issues at all, right? I can't attest to it because I didn't play the game. I told you it wasn't my type of game, but I would definitely play it if I was able to play with at least 4 people or 4 of my friends and try it out because co-op is always fun when you play online, which I still probably will do at one point because the game at least is still there. I just never did it, right? So I can't say it from my own personal experience, but I do have you guys that are my friends, that are gamers, that are family to me, that I pretty much trust your word in a lot of things you say because I know you guys are going to be sincere about it. And most guys say, I had a great time, even Tuck included, and it wasn't bad, and I didn't really experience any issues. So that just tells me that the console version wasn't as broken and was probably not even broken the way that the PC version was. But they ran with it, and the media dog walked the whole game the entire time. So Arkane is now what you call the casualty of war, right? They're trying to readjust from the issues that came already, the baggage, if you will, that came with Bethesda, right? And they're trying to readjust. So they were the casualty of war. At least they're going to move these other people and developers that are talented from Arkane and migrate them into other areas in Bethesda and probably Microsoft, other studios, as we speak. But it still sucks because their identity as that developer now is diminished, tarnished, and gone, right? It's not good look for Microsoft because they're going to make it seem like they just didn't give a fuck, even though it's a lot more to it. This came from way before, and there's other reasons why. But one of the reasons why they probably made that decision was because the game got dog walked. So they figured it's one of the weaker link. Let's probably readjust, reassess, put them somewhere else, and just close down the studio as a whole. We save the money, and it'll help us in this way, help us in that way, and do what we got to do. Same thing with Hi-Fi Rush. When the leader, the creator, which is the guy that's been there for years, that did Evil Within, Okami, and did fucking Beautiful Joe, and all the wonderful Resident Evil games, and even though May Cry, he left. He left because sorting with the idea that he was tired of being in the gaming industry because he's been in it for so long, right? If he don't have someone to take his place that has just as much talent, ambition, and want as him to continue forward with the company or the developer, right? Clearly, they're not going to have the ambition or the same vision that he had set forward, or had said fourth, right? He said he was tired and he left, right? Now, what sucks is this is the only Japanese studio that Microsoft actually owns,
Oh god.
and they fucking closed it down, which it sucks dog balls, right? Because this was like one of their best studios that was underlooked, right? But remember that Tequila Works was on the verge of closing down before Bethesda bought them. That's why they got bought. You get what I'm saying? So that's why they got bought. So probably internally, their games, which we all know, Evil Within 2, Evil Within 1, were phenomenal, but didn't do well. They didn't sell. They didn't sell. As unfortunate as that is, they didn't sell. And then we had the wonderful, beautiful gem in Hi-Fi Rush, and the game only did 2.5 million, even on Game Pass, right? And we know that they threw it on PlayStation, and that shit probably got like 20 players. Okay.
Yeah, again, I gotta reiterate, it didn't even crack the PlayStation top 100.
Exactly.
It did.
Which tells you that it probably had 25 players because they actually had to buy the game. And the worst part, and the funniest part about it is, the game is only like $30. So that makes that adds insult to injury, right? So again, he was trying to talk from the perspective of the knowledge and the history, going back, thinking logically. So, maybe people might think, oh, he don't know what he's fucking talking about, but this is what I see. So when the leader leaves because he lost his passion, because he's already tired, he's been there for 40 years, 30 years in the industry. Okay, I get it. People get tired, leave. That's a big red flag. And secondly, the game that was probably one of the greatest games out uniquely, right? That haven't came out in years, from Bethesda, from Xbox, from a fucking goddamn company that was never really glorified in the way that fucking, the way that a company like this, like Remedy only is alive because they're a fucking publicly trade owned company, meaning multiple companies have money invested and they're the ones who help them. Because Alan Wake 2 hasn't made his money yet.
Yeah.
And they came out and said it. Alan Wake 1, they didn't make his money. Quantum Break was the only one that made him money, and that was because Microsoft fully funded the game as well, right? And that was considered, nobody cared. Yeah, that was their best-selling game because I have proof. Aaron Greenberg said it. I have plenty of tweets that showed that it was highest-grossing game of all time on Xbox, right? At the time when it came out, right?
Right.
If you want to argue that issue with me, right? So all their other titles have never done well. They're another company that if they were like Tequila Works and not really in a good place, they would close down as well. Now, I feel that Microsoft probably thinks they can get better, right? Me thinking like, okay, if we close them down and they have talent, we can get better results from them being in another team that do other things because they have talent. That's without question. Now that they don't have their leader to look up to, and that's kind of like when somebody loses a leader, it's like a team, a good football team, that basketball team. You know that when Michael Jordan finally left, there was no more that Destiny type of feel in the Bulls for a long time.
I don't think that the Bulls hasn't done shit since he retired.
Exactly. When Joe Montana, when he came down to help, look how long it took to Steve Young to bring them back to their glory. You get what I'm saying? Every team that loses their leader gets like a depression mode or a downfall. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. So and then again, the numbers of Hi-Fi Rush didn't do well enough, even at $30, to justify them to be like, okay, let's give them another chance. That doesn't mean Microsoft doesn't respect and appreciate these studios. That just means they're being realistic about it. They're the weakest link. We don't want to get rid of them. But we have no choice. In order to adjust and assess the situation financially and for the future, let's make the best out of these teams and let's put them in other areas that are doing well, other developers that are doing well, and they can bring their talent and they can bring their power of knowledge of making games to these other creative teams, which probably will help other developers that have Microsoft be even better because now they're there. You get what I'm trying to say? This is the way I think Microsoft is looking at it. So at the end of the day, is it a good look? No, because Microsoft is always a target.
Yeah.
Keyword, they're always a target. Microsoft will always be targeted because they are the number one in the business with money. And that's what people love to do, target the big dog.
Yep.
But was it a necessary move? 1,000%. Because they're not just going to close down their only Japanese studio if they had no other choice. You get what I'm saying?
Excellent stuff there, Hebot.
That's true.
Absolutely excellent.
That's how I feel. I mean, it sucks. I hate it because I love Hi-Fi Rush. I love Evil Within 1 and 2. I love Tango Gameworks. But how many studios you've heard me say before, Unlimited and fellas, that I loved and that closed down? Twisted Pixel was one.
Oh, so many.
Twisted Pixel was one of the ones who did Local Cycle. The one that did Sir and Mrs. Explosion one, right? The ones who did Comic Jumper. Phenomenal studio. They let go of them. And what happened after you let go of them? We haven't heard nothing from them. It's like they're dead. They don't even exist anymore. Right. Same thing with Press Play. The same guys who did Max Curse of the Brotherhood. I thought they were phenomenal. I thought they had a lot of potential and up and coming. And what happened? You haven't heard anything from them either. Why? Because they went on their own independently thinking they were going to do better and they did not succeed. So that's just part of the business. That's why right now gaming is where it's at. It's in a fucked up place because everything's expensive and not enough money is being made internally from individual studios, not company as a whole, but the individual developers are not being able to produce enough financial money to keep their doors open. That is why only Call of Duty, Minecraft,
here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is this is how bad the average gamer is now. The most popular games right now are like 7 years old. For example, last year, Starfield was the only new game to really have some type of real success.
Like any real impact in the
any real impact. You think of a Nintendo game that came out last year. You think whatever Sony game, no impact. Gamers, they're putting their money in the same.
Unlimited. Before you keep going, because I just remember something that you just said. Unlimited. Right. Mm-hmm. Princess Peach on the Switch, and the last Mario game have not hit any plateau mark of records like they do. Yeah. Neither one of the games, and before those games were huge, even on the DS. So continue. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Yeah, and now it's been an hour, so it's my turn to speak on this, man. And the game. Listen, gamers have shown, and I'm going to get on gamers first because this hurts. I'm not going to lie, this hurts as somebody who loves Hi-Fi Rush. Okay? Yeah, go ahead. As someone who loved Hi-Fi Rush, I literally beat the game on my own channel. I praised the game to high heavens all last year. Love the game, love everything about it. It's the kind of game that I love and cherish. Love something different, new, fun, creative. It somehow felt different and new, and yet still had that old school gaming feel to it. Brilliant game. However, what this proves is that, and I'm tired of hearing this idea, and I've always heard this, and it's never been true, but it's now been proven out ever. Quality does not guarantee success. It's clear that it does not matter that a great game was made. Y'all did not put the money, time into it. All right, I did. I bought the game as soon as it came out. I dropped money on it. I don't, and here's the thing.
Sure did.
I don't expect people to buy every game. That's not what I'm saying on my soapbox. What I am saying though is that what I'm noticing is that time after time after time, these games, and these games from the gamer's perspective are not. Y'all say that y'all praise them. Y'all say, hey, this is the most praised game Xbox has had in years. How could they do this? Did you play it? No. Did you buy it? No. Did you at least play it off Game Pass? No. Well, who gives a fuck if the game was praised? Praise don't mean nothing. Praise don't pay the bills.
That's right.
What was that used to say? Perception don't pay the bills or something like that, right? And the truth of the matter is, we could talk about how much we enjoyed Redfall and Hi-Fi Rush all we want. If the gamers out there aren't out here playing the games or aren't out here interested, The game was clearly one of the best games of last year, in my opinion. One of my favorite games of the whole generation. Did not fucking matter one bit. And so that's me getting on the gamers about that part. Because I'm sorry, gamers. Y'all not gonna sit here and cry, bitch, and moan, especially those who didn't play the fucking game and who hated it and were shitting on the art style and all that stuff. I know who y'all were. Y'all do not get here to say that, like E-Rock said at the beginning of the show, and then come now that there are consequences to it, to you hating on these games, not playing it, not buying it, and so on. Now that there's consequences, you're gonna cry foul. No, fuck that and fuck you, right?
Yep.
I also got to pivot to Microsoft. Microsoft, stop saying game success. Now here's again, when it comes to criticizing Microsoft internally, it's always a little hard because I don't fucking work there. But stop saying something success, and then months later, the results are something different. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit that does not come off well. All right.
Yep.
You cannot sit here and be like and say, yeah, we're happy with what Hi-Fi Rush did and so on and so forth. Then make the game multi-plat. Then a month after the game fucking goes multi-plat, you kill the studio. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? So that's terrible. That's terrible communication. Xbox, I love you. And I say this as constructive criticism. I'm not being one of them weirdos who are sitting here hating Xbox. Oh, I'm gonna sell my Xbox to bullshit. Just some constructive criticism, right? So I got to touch it from Microsoft's standpoint, where you had people like me saying last year, no, they said the game did well, defending its success because it's a phenomenal game and you want to see it do well. And then this is the result of what we were told. Like, because obviously it wasn't as successful as we thought. If you're shutting down the studio to where we're not getting a Hi-Fi Rush 2 anytime soon, maybe ever. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Hi-Fi Rush is going to be one of them games where in the decade tuck, you're going to see it. You're going to see it on every list of this is a game that Microsoft would bring back. But like what's that game they always cry about now that they want returned? Banjo-Kazooie. Like Banjo-Kazooie, y'all didn't play Banjo-Kazooie 3. Y'all hated that fucking game. So what they're seeing, what they're seeing behind the scenes, right, is that okay, you say you want this, we give you it, it don't do well. What do you want us to do? It's not feasible to keep releasing genuinely great games that aren't financially successful. That's just not how business works. It's never going to fucking work like that. And you got to get over yourself if you think business is ever going to just be, hey man, hey E-Rock, you still there?
Yep.
Okay, good. Yeah. Hey, E-Rock, I know that you passionately, drove those kids around Philly, but damn it, the adults who paid for the exclusive service and the alcohol and all this other shit, we're going to target them. They bring the most money. It's just what it is.
Yep.
E-Rock probably, you could say A-Rock could be like, man, but I did the best I could, and yeah, you did, but the truth of the matter is, the money is money's going to talk, and the numbers going to talk at the end of the day, and so I'm kind of getting on Xbox on that a little bit because I don't like coming here saying from what and then look, I'm literally just reporting what they're saying, right? But I don't like reporting one thing and the results tell me something different, and then at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, this is business. I know you don't want to hear it. I know that you want some type of gamer rant of, oh my goodness, this is why Microsoft sucks and this is why they can't do anything right. No, the reality is that, and hell, I saw somebody say when I was just looking around that Microsoft are cowards. No, actually, the hardest decision, I'm confident from what any CEO ever says, one of the hardest decisions they often have to make is making the decision to cut jobs, or to close studios, or to close a business, because they know what they're doing, but they're not loyal to the individual employee. It sucks to hear. I know it sucks to hear, but they're not responsible for us as a gamers. You know what I'm saying? What Xbox is responsible to is Microsoft, the shareholders, and Xbox, the brand, the company. And if this is what they think is the best move to do, they're gonna do it. And this is why I don't mind coming here, speaking my mind, getting my emotions out, then moving on. And I don't say that to be all blasé about it. I don't say it to be because oh man, you're just being a corporate slave. No, I just understand that this is just how shit's gonna be. So that's why I always advise get your feelings out right now, because
how are you a corporate slave when this don't affect you?
Yeah.
How are you? Microsoft is cowards. Well then, AOL Time Warner is cowards. Warner Brothers, Apple, every major company that has had to downsize. This is business in America. Listen, Unlimited Production. Let me ask you a question. Where's all this rage and outrage? As Tencent closes down studio after studio after studio, it's been in the news. The last few months, I've seen it. But
I'll do you one better. In March, you know who closed the studio? Deviation Games, Sony.
Thank you.
Some of y'all didn't even know that. Some of y'all who are listening to that didn't even know Sony closed the studio 2 months ago. It's part of the business. It is, and I get it. And here's the thing: as a gamer, I hate that the casualty of it was a game that I love from a studio that I really enjoyed. But like Paltrek said about an hour ago in the chat, they only released like 3 games. And like Hebot said, and then Hebot comes in and say the other 2 games they released didn't sell well. So something's got to give. You know what I'm saying? We could listen, guys. I've come to this conclusion because I heard it for so long, E-Rock. If only this studio released quality games, then it would do well. Well, clearly that's not the case. Actually, if anything, quality almost has nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? And then tie that to what the average gamer is playing. It seems like it's awarded to get gamers off of GTA Online, Minecraft, 2K. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So overall, everything. Listen again. I know a lot of y'all in the chat were passionate, and I respect the passion, and I completely get it. But everything is gonna be okay in the sense that the gaming world is gonna keep moving on. What we're seeing, listen, guys, we've seen worse than this. Let's not forget, a little over a decade ago, when THQ went under and Midway Games went under, and just all these other legendary studios was far worse than what we're seeing now. Gaming, like everything goes through ups and downs, ebbs and flows. Like hell, just like the economy goes up and down, right? Everything when it comes to this entertainment goes up and down, and gaming is going through it right now, including Microsoft. And Microsoft, as we see, as great as they do, they're not going to be immune to it, and so yeah. So it's again, it sucks that the casualty of this was some great games that we all loved, that we've all said on this podcast how much we loved them and enjoyed, and for some, I think Redfall was Zink's game of the year last year, for example. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that gamer part of me really is hurt to read this. But as I read the article before we went live, they're going to pretty much a lot of the staff is going to be put to other studios, right, to help and work on other projects. This could mean, for example, we get the Elder Scrolls faster. Instead of, because the Elder Scrolls was announced in 2018, let's not forget that, right? So this might mean that we'll get Blade faster. We'll get that means that the development process for Indiana Jones that comes out later this year is going to be smoother. You know what I'm saying? So there could be some legitimate positives to this. There could be some legitimate positives to this that we're not seeing. And like one of the guys in the chat, Spy out here was saying, he was pretty much saying that he's got to see the big picture. And yeah, that's how it is, man. Right? That's why the initial emotional reaction isn't always the proper way to because sometimes you got to see the forest for the trees, man. And right now we're just looking at the trees, and the trees are burning. But for all we know, those burning trees are pushing seeds that are going to plant something new. like nature does.
Hey bro,
I
I don't know who you are, bro, but Starfield is not trash, man. So I don't know who you are in the chat, bro, but Starfield is not trash, dude.
Yeah, Starfield was literally the only game new game last year that had any type of impact. So whoever said that, get over yourself. Also, I want to point out this email from Phil Spencer where he pretty much said, I don't think we've ever closed the studio due to the studio's P&L, which is profit and losses. It's almost always either from leadership leaving, Lionhead as an example, or the team losing its passion, Ensemble as an example. So judging from Phil's words and what's happened historically at Microsoft, whoever was saying that the leadership, I think Hebot and somebody in the chat was saying that the leadership at Tango Works left a while ago. So that was probably the beginning of the end for them. And then the studio at Arkane, I didn't even know this until the chat was pointing out. A lot of the people left that studio a while ago. So for all we know, the fat they're cutting is barely any fat left. You know what I'm saying? It was already at their natural end. So
I don't know, man. I'm looking at all of the comments and all of the and the media and these guys on Twitter. It's the same shit. It's the same shit in this gaming space. Same shit, different week, man. Same shit, different week. Like this clown here, like you just head up on. It's the same shit, different week. Y'all just need something to bitch about. Mm-hmm. Y'all need y'all pound of flesh. The older I get, and the more I begin to understand these companies, which I should have years ago, but watching businesses, whether you're a part of them or looking on the outside of them, it's a learning experience. And with age comes wisdom. And with age, you realize. See, I was here 22 or 23 years ago, or almost 25 years ago, for the AOL Time Warner merger, right? Yeah. And what happened was America Online was the biggest company on the planet at one while, and they bought Time Warner, another huge company, right?
Yep.
What happens is when these huge companies buy other companies, they begin to realize that one, either they bought too much stuff, or two, there's several departments that just aren't living up to their end of the bargain. And AOL Time Warner sold everything. It was like a fire sale over there, man. Companies were going left and right. Sports teams. They had an arena. They sold that. They had a wrestling company. They sold that. Shit was just going left and right. It is what it is. And these companies, Microsoft cannot remain a sustainable company, something that y'all don't know about because Sony will never release their financials and you'll never know just how broke they are. Microsoft and Xbox cannot stay a sustainable company, but okay, man, Redfall failed. Let's just let everybody keep their jobs. We got plenty of money. No, that's not how business works.
Yeah.
That's never how it works. Well, Iraq, why are you sounding so blasé about it? Why are you defending? Defending what? Again, I don't have no skin in this game. I don't have to defend fucking Microsoft. like I defended fucking Warner Brothers at DC for a decade for their fucking dumb decisions over there. Like this is just business. And y'all acting like this is Halo or Gears of War or Indiana Jones. This is fucking Redfall and Hi-Fi Rush that none of y'all played, that only a few of y'all cared about. This is business. It is what it is. And you're going to see cuts across the board in every company. You're going to see cuts in Ubisoft soon. You're going to see more cuts in Sony. The only people that seem to be immune from cuts is Nintendo because they don't make nor produce shit. Put Zelda and Mario and Pokemon every fucking year in perpetuity. So with no experimentation and no absorbing other companies and other IPs comes zero risk. When have you ever heard of Nintendo buying anybody? They don't.
They don't.
They are this self-contained shit. So, Microsoft is cowards. Like that's just so fucking. Then WWE is cowards for just firing 45 people. Like it's just like the fucking juvenile mentality and the silliness in this gaming space is why Unlimited Production didn't want to deal with y'all anymore. it validates everything he said about y'all. Like, man, it's just it is what it is. You'll make a big deal about this today, and I guarantee you in 2 weeks they'll have something else to bitch about, because this, as I've said time and time again, is who y'all are. And I'm so glad I don't have to deal with y'all anymore. No, none of y'all gave a fuck about Redfall. None of y'all gave a fuck about Arkane Austin. Why do you fucking care? Oh, these people lost their jobs. People lose their fucking jobs every goddamn day. I've lost jobs. Unlimited Productions have lost jobs. Fucking your uncle, your mom, your cousins lost their jobs. Stop acting like you give a shit. The only reason why you people, Dreamcast Sky, and all you guys on Twitter give a fuck is because y'all got, it's a different week and y'all got another reason to throw some more dirt at Microsoft. But haven't y'all learned by now? Is nothing that y'all can do, nothing y'all can say is going to tear this company down. This company is fucking bullshit proof at this point. And so with all y'all tweets, oh, they closed 2 studios, it's the end. Man, y'all told us it was the end last week, and the week before that, and the year before that, and the year before. When is this company going to fucking end, according to y'all? Give me a fucking break.
Yeah. And Iraq, and like Unlimited said, that they moving some of them people to other jobs in Microsoft. So did they really lose their job? They just shutting down the studio because they're not making no money for them. So if they shut down the studio, they might put them people somewhere else.
Unlimited, I gotta go, brother, but I want to say something real quick because I gotta go to work, man.
Yeah. About to wrap it up.
Real quick, man. To the nigga in there that said that Starfield ain't trash, you didn't play it, because all you guys that say the game that we have is trash, you never played before. That's number one. On top of it, you know, a lot of the reasons why this happened too, that I believe, is because, like I said, when those games went over to PlayStation, and like Unlimited said, he always has the proof, always puts it up and lets people know. That game Hi-Fi Rush didn't even crack. What was it? The top 100 Unlimited.
Didn't even reach the top 100.
Didn't even reach the top 100. So that's one of the reasons why too. Just like Unlimited and everybody said earlier, they put the games over there to see if it would also make more money, because you guys bitched and complained about it when it was over here. You talk shit on the game. You talk shit on Redfall. You talk shit on all our games. When you get our fucking games, you don't buy them and you don't fucking support them. So most of y'all need to just shut the fuck up and play games. You know what I mean? Just play the games, dude. If you don't like what we got over here, then get to stepping. You know what I'm saying? Because you're one of the reasons why this is happening. And I truly believe that. All right. You guys bitch, moan, and complain about Xbox wanting our games. Then you come in my boys' chat right here and you talk shit. But yet you want our games that we don't have. You know what I mean? That's the way you guys are, man. You are a bunch of bitches out here. You're the ones that are the cowards. You're the ones that are the sissies. You guys are the cowards and sissies. All right, because you don't support games. If you don't have money like that, then maybe you need to put your ass on a holstro and make some money. Because you act like hoes out here.
Hell yeah.
Take a man to the roll, man. Take a man to the roll.
You act like fucking hoes out here. You always come in and you try to damage control. When you come to my boys, in the comment sections, or when you come to mine or whoever is doing it, if Hebot does it, you know what I mean? If Unlimited does it, if Sega Forever does it, all right, you guys are hoes. That's all you are. You don't play games. You don't buy games because you're broke. Like I said before, if you want to play these games, man, you need to get a job. Maybe take your ass out there, like I said a long time ago on my boys, on our first, on the Exile podcast. Go cut some grass, dude. Go shovel some snow. I don't know. Go do something, all right? If you want to be relevant and you want to be a true gamer, you need to support the games. Everybody that's on this panel right now buys and supports games straight up. Rather it's digital, physical, we support games. And we got proof. We got our report card. Just look at our gamer score. Look at what we have when we're on Xbox. We support and buy games. I have over 2,000 motherfucking games on Xbox. All right, that I bought. So I support my brand. All right. You guys are port begging And then when you port beg, you don't support the goddamn game at all. And you're one of the reasons why this shit has happened. Because you do not support games like that, but yet you bitch, moan, and complain and port beg about our games. Oh man, I want Hellblade Senua's Saga. Oh man, I want Starfield. Then you even got Sea of Thieves. Are you playing that shit right now? No, you ain't playing. You ain't playing.
No, they're not.
So y'all need to stop bitching, moaning, complaining, always coming on Xbox centric podcasts is talking shit. Because you ain't shit. Because you don't buy shit. You know what I'm saying? You guys need to stop that bullshit, man. Because you know what? Unlimited is always going to be out here. That's why I love Unlimited, because he's always on fire. Yeah. When he sent me that link about that, I didn't even know shit about that, bro. I was getting ready for work. I was like, oh shit, I got to do this with Unlimited before I go to work, so we can talk about this shit. And we do not, and we do not always support what Xbox and what Microsoft does. Unlimited even said in the podcast, all right? We're not saying that they're perfect. If there's something that we think is wrong, we're going to address it. So you can't call us corporate slaves. We're not corporate slaves, all right? Because we invest a lot of money into Xbox and in the games, all right? So we want them to do right, not always. You know, sometimes they're going to make mistakes, but we're going to, if it's something that we don't agree with, we're going to talk about it. We don't defend everything that Microsoft does.
No, we don't.
None of us do. You just heard E-Rock. He just got done talking about a month ago or a while ago about Microsoft. So there's the proof right there. We're not the corporate slaves. You guys are the corporate slaves, because anything Sony does, you take it with no fucking Vaseline. You take it with no fucking Vaseline. Oh, I'm okay with paying $70. It supports the gamers. Well, we have Ultimate Game Pass, and when we got Ultimate Game Pass and we get it every month or every 3 months, and we go on there and we play the games, we're supporting the fucking developers, dumb motherfuckers.
Get him, Sega man, get him.
That's right. Get them.
You don't need to pay $70. If you don't have $70 to pay, you got Ultimate Game Pass where you can play our games day and date. You can't play Sony games day and date. Can you, over on that bitch ass PlayStation? You can't play none of their games day and date. You got to buy the shit for $70 or maybe even $100. They're thinking of making your games. So you need to shut the fuck up and don't come in here talking shit because you don't know what you're talking about. That is the truth, and that is the way it is, my man. Xbox is the best place to be right now. It just is. Ultimate Game Pass is destroying everything that Sony and Nintendo is doing right now, and you guys cannot admit it. You will not talk about it. You will put up a fucking invisible wall because you know the shit is true. You want an Ultimate Game Pass on your system, and you know you do. You ain't port begging for that. You're port begging for the games, but you know you want Ultimate Game Pass on your preferred console because you get to play all those games day and date for free. You don't have to pay for them. You don't have to go out and pay full $70 for Gears of War 6, dumbasses. But when your game comes out like Spider-Man 86, you got to pay fucking $70 for one and dones, dumbass hoes. The game, when you're done playing it, that's it. There's no online. There's nothing like that. There's no online play or nothing. Our games have longevity. Sony games do not have longevity. They depend on fucking Call of Duty and games like that. That's the only online game that they had that did its success over there. That's why they were fighting Microsoft about it, because it was the only one making them fucking money. Not their own in-house games was making them shit. Yep. It was fucking Call of Duty.
Ooh.
Man, how did I do this for 7 years? I don't know how I did this.
You know what? Hey y'all, I can't outdo Sega Man on none of that today.
No,
Hey, Metal Face, calm down, my friend. Listen, how was killing it Xbox? They didn't cancel Call of Duty, the $1 million game, Halo, the $1 million game. They killed Hi-Fi Rush, the game that people didn't play. It sucks. It really, listen, you're talking to somebody who loved that game and hates to see another game I love fail. But as somebody who's watching Suicide Squad fail right now, Gotham Knights failed last year, Sunset Overdrive failed, you know, and that's why when somebody said that they own the IP, that doesn't mean anything to me. I watched Sunset Overdrive fail. I watched Quantum Break fail. Hell, name the Xbox exclusive last generation, especially that first half, it probably failed, right? Even though they were great games, you know, it's just it sucks. But Xbox is going to keep trying to find games that are going to be, you know, more successful, more profitable. Because that's how all businesses work, man. It, you know, and then and look, this won't be the last game that we see that'll be really good. That might not do as well as we hoped or we thought, you know, and it's going to be unfortunate when that happens. You know, but I don't think I don't think that is killing Xbox or anything. I mean,
No, it's not.
yeah, and I'm looking at some of the reactions best I can. You know,
Satya Nadella is not killing Xbox. Xbox has never been more profitable. Businesses across the board are trying to find a way to maximize profits, put out the best product ever, but also save money. These companies, look, listen, entertainment across the board and gaming and movies are the same thing. I've been saying this now for 3 years. It's all entertainment. Like, there's very few companies that are as hell-bent on their utter destruction as Disney, who can keep affording to spend $300 million on movies and lose money, lose money, because they will not learn. They will not pivot. Xbox is not going to do that. Apparently, they lost money on Redfall. Apparently, they lost money on Hi-Fi Rush. So you restructure, you move on, you reallocate that money to something else. But Microsoft is making billions of dollars or trillions of dollars per quarter. So what the fuck does that mean? Why are y'all, listen to all you guys out there saying Microsoft?
A lot of people think that means that since X company make X amount, that they should just swallow whatever losses they take.
Yes, that's not how this shit works.
It's not work that way.
And again, I know your body saying, "Hey, why are you so blasé about this?" Man, listen. I watched my favorite company, Warner Brothers, be absolutely gutted by this motherfucking accountant. Fucking no offense to accountants, this accountant David Zaslav. I've watched Warner Brothers be gutted. Why should I take that shit personally anymore? Normally, if I still had the DC podcast, I'd be fucking backflipping that everybody in the world was having a negative reaction to their new Superman who looks like fucking dude's wearing a CW cosplay suit. I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care anymore. Fuck Warner Brothers. As far as Microsoft, listen, as long as they keep putting a good flow of games in Game Pass that I don't have to pay for, I don't have to buy unless I want to, as long as they keep themselves leveraged for 30, you don't leverage yourself for the next 30 years by saying, well, you know what, we got these 20 games over here out of the 60 we got coming up the next 7 years of limited production, but we're going to take a huge loss on at least 60 of these games. No, you don't stay profitable by doing that. You know what you do when you do shit like that? You lose money like fucking PlayStation. But I mean, you're sitting here trying to explain business to people who are emotionally attached to plastic boxes. That's already a fucking fail. That's already a fucking fail trying to talk to a Dreamcast guy or a Jez Corden or a fucking Tim Dog. That's a lost cause trying to talk to these guys.
Yeah, and let me also say this to saying that you want a Steve Ballmer back. Let's not forget, under Steve Ballmer, the 360 had one of the worst failure rates for a product ever. That they literally had to spend billions to send repairs to. So, you know, I think there's a little nostalgia when it comes to people like Steve Ballmer. Under him, Xbox had some serious fails too. Let's not forget, studios closed under other leaderships, closed or left, like Twisted Pixels that Hebot mentioned earlier. I think what's some other one that left during the time? Well, they didn't have nearly as much as they do now. But my point is, man, My point is, man, if you think bringing back Steve Ballmer or somebody is the solution, that's trust me, man. It wouldn't turn out the way you think. Steve Ballmer, hell, Steve Ballmer ain't a gamer. He might close it down even faster than what these guys are doing. So
Can you hear me?
Be careful. Oh yeah, I can hear you now. We can hear you.
No. I was gonna say if I wanted to add to what E-Rock says because I'm assuming I wasn't here, but I'm assuming based on what I'm hearing, E-Rock and you say that people are saying, how can $1 trillion company just close down and they got money or type deal, right? That's probably what is going on there. You got to understand that even though Microsoft's worth $3 trillion, it's not the Xbox division. It's Microsoft, the company, as a whole. That's number one. And number two, because their division of Xbox is worth so much, they have a lot more investment and a lot more money in the cookie jar than a Sony or a Nintendo. So their risk failure or their high risk of failing for and hurting them exponentially is much higher than any other company. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So they have to make those drastic decisions, right? Like spending 75 million for Fable Legends and just cutting the fucking cord, right? Not any company can just do that, or spending 100 million and investing it for Scalebound, and because Platinum Games decided they wanted to be cute and put other projects ahead and prioritize while these are the guys that are paying them, and they had to cut the budget on that end as well. So Microsoft makes those drastic decisions because it'll hurt them much more and much harder than other companies because they have a lot more money invested in a lot more projects and a lot more studios, games that are very expensive and high costly, and other certain things that are involved in the gaming industry, like AI or whatever it is that they're trying to do for the future, and even in present day. So you can't just be like, oh yeah, but they got money. They could afford to keep these companies around and stuff like that. That's not how that works. Like Elon said, no, it definitely isn't. Especially the more money you're worth and the more money you have, the more money you have at stake, right? And the more money you have invested. And that's what people get confused. They think, oh, but if these companies do, yeah, because they have way less money invested and they have way less money to worry about losing because they don't have such a big investment. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing to add to what you guys are saying, that's not how that works, because there's a logic, a business logical standpoint that you got to look at it from the outside. From the outside looking in, we don't really do that because we don't work for Xbox, right? We don't work for these, conglomerate, high value companies like Microsoft. Unless you work there, you can't really understand. And again, it's not like they laid off the people. They didn't lay them off. They're dispersing the workers into other studios to help out with other projects to keep their talent and keep them working. They just closed down the studios as a whole because they're no longer going to be able to invest projects to them individually based on whatever happened with their last project, which was Redfall, and obviously, Hi-Fi Rush. They didn't lay people off. They just closed down the studio so that they don't identify as, oh, this is a studio we have that's making a project. No, we don't have no longer Arkane Studios. We no longer have Tango Gameworks. These guys are in other development studios and development.
They don't care about the motherfuckers is complaining and bitching. Don't give a fuck about them people. I swear to God. I promise you. Look, I don't know much in life, but I know this much. I'm willing to bet my fucking life on it. These motherfuckers don't give a fuck about them people that work at Arkane Austin or they don't give a fuck about them. This is all about. I got something else to bitch about Microsoft and Xbox about.
Yeah. Listen, if they cared, they would have bitched when Embracer did layoffs.
Thank you.
Right.
Well, the other
GameStop.
I think Take-Two had layoffs recently. Nobody batted it out.
Yeah. GameStop yesterday.
Around a couple weeks ago.
GameStop just yesterday, they said they announced they're closing 300 other stores. 300 more stores. Okay,
We talked about that.
so it's the time. Also the signs of the time. Like I said, E-Rock is right, but that's what I'm talking. That's what we were talking about. They didn't give a fuck about anyway. They didn't give a fuck about Hi-Fi Rush. They only gave a fuck about Hi-Fi Rush when it was announced to come to other consoles like Switch and Nintendo to make it seem like, here we go, Microsoft is stupid. They don't care. They're devaluing their hardware. They don't care about the
But I specifically remember somebody like the fake Xbox dude at IGN, Shaggy from Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
I specifically remember him saying, "Xbox guys, why would you be upset at Hi-Fi Rush coming to the Switch? It would be perfect for that console." Saying
Yes.
stupid shit like that.
That's the question. Yes. So that's what they only cared about Hi-Fi Rush. But when it was on Xbox only, they were like, oh, why did they shadow drop it? Why didn't they give people enough time to review the game? That's not fair. Why would we have to, pay for it now? Or why would we have to wait till now? Because they were crying because they didn't get a chance to dog walk the game and fucking crush it and talk shit about it. And that's what they were really pissed about, right?
They didn't give digital fans a chance to make a stupid video where if the game didn't run at a perfect 60 frames per second every freaking second of the game's running time, they were hyper focused on the one moment that might have had a dip to like 53 frames and then bitch that the game was broken or unfinished. I mean, I already know how this shit works. All right, I already know how this shit works with everything, and it's a stupid ass cycle that makes you. It's a stupid ass cycle that for me made me hate these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? And if it wasn't for y'all, the chat, and me refocusing this channel, I was gonna quit because I hate dealing with it. I hate dealing with them. I hate it. I hate it. I hate that y'all even bring them up sometimes. Now I hate them so much that when E-Rock mentions, I got like shit. I know exactly who he's talking about. Or when the chat mentions these YouTubers, and it's like, yeah, I know exactly how they're gonna react because even though I've been away from that shit for months now, they're so predictable. You already know what they're gonna say, and then you already know what their stupid ass audiences are gonna say.
We have to mention them because within context, because we know what's gonna happen, right? We know what's gonna happen now, and everybody's gonna make it seem like, oh my God, Microsoft, look, they don't know how to distribute and take care of their fucking companies and studios. They suck. They this, they that. Just like they claim that Microsoft closed down and shut down a bunch of studios during the Xbox One generation. And the reality was it was Sony. It wasn't Microsoft. Sony closed down so many studios from Ready at Dawn to the guys who did fucking or let go the Japan Studio Japan and CSE, which was COE, which is Sony Online Entertainment Studio. They closed down the guys who were doing the Echo project, the guys who were doing the Wild. They closed down the company that did the Drive Club or for them. I forgot the name of the studio. They did the MotorStorm series. They closed them down. They closed down the project that they were doing with Capcom, which was that dragon game. It was called Dead something. I forgot that fucking name of that game.
Yeah, hold on. Time out. Let me call time out because I gotta address this comment from Metal Face Doom. And Metal Face Doom, I get you're frustrated, so I ain't beating up on you, man. But as the most successfully financial company in the world, they should fund Xbox no matter what. They got the bread. That is such a listen, guys. I get it. I get it. On the surface, you see these companies and you see the money they make, and you think that they just take, that they'll just take any punishment. But you don't become that financially successful by taking all them L's or doing absolutely nothing, or having no type of rebranding, no type of changes, no type of restructuring or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? It's just not practical to sit here and tell. And then here's the thing: we're not the important ones, man. I'm telling you, them shareholders, man. Them shareholders. I think you guys really underestimate how important shareholders are to these companies, man. I think you guys really underestimate that because really we are not important. You know what I'm saying? Our outrage, our anger, our passion, is not a blimp to the radar when the shareholders get together and they want something. Hell, listen, shareholders 98% approve Activision being sold. for $70 billion. They were the ones who got together and gave it the okay. That's how powerful they are. We can't come together and really affect them. So yeah, Metal Face. I'm just giving you a little breakdown on the reality of this situation. I know it sounds cool of this idea that Microsoft is so rich that they should just take whatever for Xbox. That ain't gonna happen, my friend. Especially with the type of investments Xbox got going on. Sorry to cut you off, but
look, Metalhead. To add to what Unlimited said, that is why they stay successful, because they don't continue to invest on dead or unprofitable projects. That's why Sony is in the situation they're in now. That's why they have so much debt and they're really in the red, because they own more money than what they're making, because they keep on concentrating way too much on projects that are not successful. And then when they finally do cut the ball or the chain on that ball, it's when it's too late, when they lost way too much money. Now the new Sony is not doing that. The new Sony, as you see, they already gave up and they already took the L for VR2. They said that shit wasn't profitable. We're going to stop production. It's not working. We didn't make enough money, and that's it. We're not going to keep investing in the.
Keep out real quick.
Yeah.
Hey, Metal Face. Let me tell you how this works a little bit. The Xbox division is so profitable to Microsoft. They're in all of their big ass divisions, starting with the leader in Azure. Okay. Furthermore, when Satya is speaking to those developers, if you ever listen to an earnings report, when he says how critical the Xbox division is to the success of Microsoft, especially because of their innovations that they got from the Xbox division with AI, that's critical. Also, all Satya Nadella has to do is say, hey, this group acquired Minecraft for $2.4 billion. Now Minecraft is worth north of $40 billion. Hey, I'll talk to y'all later.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly the point. When they keep staying profitable and keep staying in the provision of making profit, because they make the smart decisions and they take the risk that other people would otherwise not want to take, because it makes it look like it's a bad decision. They make those decisions that are like most people be like, oh, I ain't doing that. No, because they're going to be scared thinking it's not going to work. That's why they keep being profitable, because they take those decisions and make them that most other companies don't, because they're afraid that if they do, they're going to fail. But what's happened with Microsoft? Every time they make a decision, even though in the beginning it looks like, oh, that was stupid, then long term you realize, well, that makes sense. That's why they did what they did. Now they're doing even better. That's why they do what they do. Hey, what's up, guys? That's why they do what they do, and that's what people don't understand.
The main thing is this. The main thing to me is all about this. These players that they always talk about Xbox games and everything and all that stuff. Always talk about all these games that haven't even came out yet, but they dog walk the hell out of these games. It's gonna be the same thing for Hellblade 2 when it comes out. When Hellblade 2 comes out, they're gonna dog walk that game too. And then when that game
they're gonna try to say Hellblade 2 was too short. Why did it take so long? If the game is super short, that's what they're gonna do. Trust me.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's what they're gonna do, but they shouldn't be doing that. Just enjoy the game. You shouldn't be listening to these YouTubers that this is all they want to do is that you get on their channel. You get on their channel, and they dog the heck to walk out of all of these games, and you never give these games a try. But you want to give these guys your hard-earned money for bullshit. I mean, I'm like, okay, you get MBG. What the heck you doing giving him your hard-earned money? I mean, he's just giving an opinion like everybody else. But you got true gamers. Unlimited, E-Bot, E-Rock, myself, Sega Man, Outer Zinc, Dea, 100. All of them people they give you honest truth about what's going on with the industry. But no, y'all want to go ahead and go over there to MBG, Prune Face, Dreamcast guy, Y'all want to go to them guys and just listen to them guys, and those guys, all they do is just sit around here dogging out games. That's all they do is dog out every game that comes out. And I'm like, really? And how the heck can you sit there and listen to these damn guys and you don't and they haven't even played the game yet? And they probably had never ever played the game. But you got games like Unlimited, me, Hebot, we play games. We play games. And we just gonna give you our honest opinion about the game. Okay? But like Unlimited said, when Hellblade comes out, it's gonna get all the hate and all that stuff. They're gonna be dogging it out, saying that it should be coming to PlayStation. I'm like, dude, if you own both systems, shut up. Stop bragging about the systems and just play the damn game. It don't mean no doggone system what you got it on. If the game is on Xbox, and you know you ain't gonna get on the PlayStation anytime soon, what you gonna do? You're gonna wait until the game comes out on PlayStation? That's if it comes out. And the same vice versa. You think that I'm gonna sit here and wait for Spider-Man to come out on the Xbox? Dude, that might not even happen. So why should I want to waste time to wait on that game to come to PlayStation? I mean, to come to Xbox. That's crazy. That is craziness. It's in Unlimited, and like you said, I want to know how many sales has they done on Sea of Thieves, because they did if they didn't do it on Hi-Fi Rush, I know they didn't do it on Sea of Thieves, because that's just the truth. Like you said, they don't play their games, so we know they ain't gonna play our games, and that is just the doggone truth. But let me tell you right now, people, stop listening to the hard-head ass media, dumb politics media that just want your money. That's all they want is your money, and that's all y'all do is give them your money. And then, but all they talk about is games, how bad a game is, and haven't even tried the damn game out. See, this is what I'm talking about. In the media, you know what? Like I said, video gamers, we used to have fun back in the day playing video games. You know, we used to go to the stores, and I used to be at Beverages for like hours and hours and hours, just talking about video games, and we had fun talking about video games. It wasn't none of this. You know, we hate a video game. You know, we might dislike a video game, but we never did talk bad about a video game, because we had all kinds of systems. We had the Sega, we had Nintendo, we had the Dream. We had the all the other kind of systems up there too. But when it comes down to it, just play your games. Stop listening to these insiders that talk so bad about a damn game. It's like I'm gonna give a good example. Like when Redfall first came out, the PC people loved it. The PC people loved it at first. Then all of a sudden you hear that it's gonna go 30 frames per second. Really? I mean, dude, it's not that big of a difference, y'all. It's not that big of a difference. It doesn't make or break a game. Now, if they can turn around and come up with the game at 60 frames per second after that, fine and dandy. But if they can't, what you want to do? And all of a sudden, y'all, you know, and all of a sudden,
nowadays they're going to hate the game, then be surprised when there are consequences for why the game didn't do well. Look, Tuck,
Exactly.
Tuck, do you know how many games I love have failed? Hell, damn near every game of the year this generation failed. My game of the year in 2020, Mortals Phoenix Rising failed. How do you know it failed Unlimited? Because I read about 6 months ago how Ubisoft canceled Immortals Phoenix Rising 2. When they canceled the game, that means it didn't do well. Guardians of the Galaxy, my game of the year 2021, that game fucking failed. How you know it failed? Because they literally how can I forget? Idols Montreal got reshuffled and had more layoffs than I can remember. You know what I'm saying? So listen. I could go to the list. I could go down the list of game after game after game that I love, that I've praised, that I have gameplay of, that I have an unboxing of, that I've praised in my collection videos, and any other way I could put it out there. Look, and you know what I had to do? I had to just sit there, watch my favorite games die, and move on. And I'm sorry, guys. That's what you got to do. Unfortunately, Hi-Fi Rush was a casualty because. Hell, if you want to be mad at anybody, be mad at the casuals, because the casuals just for the last 7, 8 years are literally playing the same fucking shit. They're somehow still playing Grand Theft Auto 5 online. They're somehow still playing Minecraft. They're somehow still playing Call of Duty every fucking year. They're somehow still playing 2K, even though it's literally a copy and paste of the shit from last year. They're somehow still playing Madden. I mean, blame them. Because I mean, at some point, there's just not enough hardcore fans. It's pretty obvious that with the expense of today's games and how long games take to develop, the hardcore market is not strong enough to carry games like that. And if these people, and if the average gamer is still somehow playing Fortnite, a game that came out in what 26? What was it? E-Rock 2016, I think. 2017?
2017.
Yeah, 7. If people play that game for 7 fucking years and are not moving on, I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's who you really should be mad at. That there's nothing Guardians of the Galaxy could have done. There's nothing Hi-Fi Rush could have done that could win over Lil Timmy who just paid V-Bucks or whatever it's called on Roblox. There's nothing. Not a single thing that. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, to add to what you're saying also, look at GTA. People are still playing a game that started on the 360.
Yeah.
Put that in perspective. That started on 360 and it still sells in the MPD charts today. It was on the MPDs last month. GTA that started on 360, to put it in perspective. We're talking about 3 generations ago. And they still playing the game. That's why I said Rockstar don't give a fuck. And for me, even though they may do a good game, they're lazy. They don't care. They rest on their laurels because all they keep doing is little DLCs here and there, and they keep making bank.
Yeah,
they
and
don't
people.
care.
That's because people. I mean, why should they care if people keep buying it? I mean, yes, at some point, listen. No company. It's pretty obvious, especially now in today's environment. No company's going to ignore where the money's going, and so if these people are going to keep putting their time and money and fucking shark cards and all the other shit that comes with GTA 5. At this point, it's on them because that game's over a decade old, and a lot of them still aren't moving on from it. And don't tell me, old games aren't good enough when there's nothing but quality games out there, and they don't give a shit. They're never going to give a shit, and there's nothing these devs could do that could, for some reason, unlike the old days, there's nothing these devs could do that could just sway them away from these top games. I don't know why. I don't know fucking why.
Unlimited. The last 2 generations, it even started in the 360, and E-Rock attests to this. The last 2 generations of consoles, we have had the most unique and most different and exciting games. Games like, It
Takes Two.
No Straight Road, It Takes Two, right? Games like Unravel or...
We just had games like Harold Halibut with that beautiful art style.
Harold Halibut, exactly. We've had the most unique, interesting games ever created.
Oh, you bought it on us. He bought.
What's the next?
Yeah, guys.
They're worried about what the next.
Say what you got to say, and then we're going to start wrapping it up. This has been going on a little too long.
Okay, that. But instead of people embracing that, am I still body? Am I still body?
You're botting bad, man.
Bad.
You sound good now. Go back to what you're saying. It sounds like go back to what you're saying.
Basically, what I was just trying to say is that all those games have not been embraced. Like a valiant heart, right? Like the long. What's the name of that game, E-Rock? That looks like a Tim Burton game. It's called The Long. Holy crap!
I don't.
You played it. It was by EA.
Lost at random.
Yeah, Lost
Lost
at
at
Random.
Random.
Yeah.
Lost at Random. All these unique and beautifully stylized games that are trying different things, actually using the core essence of what video games should be, creativity, things like Artful Escape. So many games with creativity have been created. And it started on the 360, to be honest. But it just got better in Xbox One and with the Series X now, right, in this generation. And they just haven't done enough money, right? Out of all those games, It Takes Two is probably the only one that really has made any money, right? And that is why, because the gamers that we have of today, all they're worrying about, what's the next Call of Duty update, or what's the next season for Call of Duty, or what's the next online update for GTA. That is the reason why we don't see this anymore in a AAA budget style anymore. This is why, because it's a big risk. You can't take that kind of risk and invest $230 million in a game for it to only sell 10,000 copies or 20,000 copies, or heck, even 500,000 copies. It's not enough. It's not going to be enough to sustain the price. You know?
No, I'll do you one better. This is how bad it is. The Dead Space remake sold like 2 million. That was a failure. 2 million was a failure.
Right.
AAA game.
And that tells you. It sold 2 million copies and it still was considered a failure. That tells you how fucked up the situation is right now in the gaming industry, because it's costly. It's all about the cost. The cost is way too high because technology, once it keeps expanding and they keep pushing it, the harder it is to make games at a cheaper cost. That's why they're trying to invest in AI to try to save money. People are like, they're just trying to take their money. They're trying to take people's workforce money away, or their jobs. And it's not that. It's because that's the only way they can cut corners to save money or to make some.
And you just answered your own question about why Rockstar been basically selling people Grand Theft Auto 5 DLC.
Absolutely.
For the last 12, 13 years. I wouldn't now I will defend Rockstar here, but I will not say that Rockstar is lazy, because you can fire up Grand Theft Auto 5 right now and that shit is better than 99.9% of the games out today. Like Rockstar, it takes them years to make one of them fucking games. I would say the only people that would come close to them with open world is Ubisoft. Like something like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and even then, as amazing as Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Valhalla and Origins is with their open world and their AI, as amazing as those games are, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, probably the greatest game I've ever played in my lifetime playing video games. It still don't come close to Grand Theft Auto 5. Nowhere fucking near. I don't know how it must take them years to he bought. Listen to me, dude. The fucking cars have AI. The cars have AI. You start looking at the cars, they don't just sit there. The motherfucking drivers drive off and get away. The pedestrians, depending on what neighborhood you go to, if you're in like Brentwood or Beverly Hills, the people will run and call the cops. If you're in Mr. 100's neighborhood, yes, Mr. 100's neighborhood is in Grand Theft Auto 5. He's right near the Los Angeles Forum, right? If you go in Mr. 100's neighborhood and start shooting, them niggas in there start shooting back. And eventually somebody calls the cops and the cops come out. Like I've never seen artificial intelligence. This shit takes years, bro. They just can't spit this shit out. The way
I know. I've seen where you can get on top of a car, for example, and kick the window, and the window on the car starts to crack little by little.
Man, that's just the half of it, dog. Yeah. that's just the half of it, my nigga. Like that world is literally alive. So when motherfuckers bring up some shit like Elden Ring, I'm like, man, what the fuck is you talking about? Like right. Like Grand Theft Auto 5 came out in 2013. and it's beyond that bullshit. Like Rock. I'm just saying, Rockstar on some other shit. Like not even Red Dead Redemption 2 is on the level of Grand Theft Auto 5. So that's why it takes them so long to get that shit out. So what they did was they said we can't spit this shit out every 3 years. So we're just going to keep adding DLC from now until fucking the end of time. I know it seemed lazy, but like you better believe that when Grand Theft Auto 6 come out, it's gonna be fucking mind blowing because it took them over a decade. Like, god damn,
almost 15 years. Mm-hmm.
Like Todd Howard, don't rush him on Elder Scrolls. Don't rush him. Let that nigga cook. Because if he rushes it, all you're gonna do is complain like they did with Starfield.
Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're gonna complain about Starfield no matter what.
But therein lies the problem. To get back to what he about to say, these games are too costly. It's taking them too. They're more expensive than movies now. They're too costly. And at some point, we might even see. I think somebody mentioned. I don't know whether it was Dia. I think Dia mentioned it. We might see a video game crash again. I mean, it's not implausible.
Yeah, I think that's what these companies are trying to avoid is a crash.
Yes, it's a crash. Mm-hmm. And that's why they're making these drastic decisions. I believe so too. That's what I was trying to allude to. I was trying to say is because they're doing that bad, they're going to end up crashing, and it's going to be bad because we're talking about billions of dollars, not hundreds and little hundreds of thousands, or maybe $1 million or $2 million back in the day, because games didn't cost a lot to make. This is billions and maybe even trillions of dollars. This is a difference. It'll never either recuperate or we'll never get back to gaming the way we know it ever again.
Yeah.
If they're not careful.
Well, if gamers are going to demand 4K 60 ray tracing with and the game need to have fantastic AI. By the way, there can't be no bugs because if Digital Foundry finds one bug, then everybody's gonna boycott that game. And here's the kicker: gamers don't want you to have any other type of monetization. So don't loot boxes or DLC because they'll hate that. So now you got games that I kid you not are costing $300 million that apparently gamers don't want anything added to it, or if it's added, they want it for free. You know, they don't want to pay $70 for games anymore.
Yeah. So like, it's $120 is too much. That sucks.
Yeah, but at the same time, if the game doesn't give them everything, then it's not going to sell well. You know, you're dealing with it's almost a lose-lose situation.
You guys remember Unlimited, because it's what you're correlating with what you're saying. Do you guys remember when I said, don't cry later when Microsoft has to cut corners in other areas that you're not going to be happy with? When they got pissed off.
Oh my God, you said that years ago.
When Microsoft was trying to bring up the price of Xbox Live. Yeah. Remember when I said that? I said, there's a reason why they're doing that. And if they do that, it's going to be long-term better for us as gamers. But if they don't, watch, and you will see they're going to cut corners, and then you're going to be mad. And when they cut corners where they have to do it, and here's the result. Because if they would have getting it from a service subscription and making up the cost to cover everything else from the gaming service, right? They would have not had to shut down studios or cut down game projects. That's the whole point. But since everybody was like, no, you can't rob us, even though it was only going to be $120 for the year. When you pay $120 for basic cable a month, okay? To put it into perspective, you pay $120 for your cell phone, for one phone line a month. You pay $120 for a basic insurance, not even full insurance or liability a month. Okay? But you were crying because, oh my God, they're going to charge us another $60. How dare they? Well, guess what? This is the result. Now they had to shut down studios and cut projects because, again, Microsoft was trying to find a solution to where they could make that money so they can cover the costs where they would have to put losses in. So I said it a long time ago, and you guys remember that I said, don't cry when they cut corners where you don't want them to cut corners, because you don't want to cooperate and accept that The fucking online service needs to go up in price for them to cover costs. And that was right after they bought, I think wasn't it when they right after they bought fucking Bethesda?
Yeah.
That they tried to do that, right?
Yep.
That was way before even Activision. That was when they bought
That was after Bethesda.
And everybody's like, fuck you, you're crazy. And Microsoft,
yeah. And then everybody like Colt Eastwood jumps, started circle jerking each other when they went back on it. Like, we won, guys. Our voice matters.
Yeah, it was because of us that they did it. They care, you see. But again, like I said, it all goes down to what you guys were just saying. The cost is too high. Gaming is, like I said, right now, we're looking at gaming the wrong way. Right now, gaming is no longer a hobby for us. It's a luxury because it's almost at a point where it's about to go away because they have no choice. This is why Phil was talking about that we need to make other drastic decisions, try to make other types of decisions that are unorthodox or not usual and that don't really make sense, like putting games on other platforms as well. For various reasons, not getting attacked by the fucking government, but so that they can try to make money some way from another venue to try to make the cost up for the games that maybe didn't do as well. It's so many variables, and we could talk about this in a podcast for a fucking 5 hours if we wanted to, right? Yeah. Especially with all the knowledge that we have and all the passion and experience, because unlike many podcasts, we actually invest and buy shit. Most podcasts, maybe one of the members will be buying shit. The other ones don't really buy shit. Us, we're like the 12 horsemen of the apocalypse and shit. We all buy shit. We all support shit, right? So I know for a fact it's not because we don't have experience, because we own the shit, right? We invest in this shit. So if anybody should be pissed, it's us, because we invest in it, and then all of a sudden, whoa, something ceased to exist and we no longer can benefit from what we paid. That fucking sucks because we made the investment. Most of these dudes, you tell them, oh, show me your library. They don't even have one. Yep. It'd be like 5 games, 50 games, 12 games. Meanwhile,
and the 5 games be Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Ghost, some shit like that.
Right. GTA for sure. GTA for sure. Yeah. GTA is like Scarface. It's in everybody's library. Uh-huh.
But with that said, we're gonna wrap it up there. We're gonna wrap it up there. Absolutely fantastic, man. I'm so glad everybody was able to make it. Even Zinc came out of the woods to pop in a few times.
He did 2 drive-bys.
Like it was starting to get to the point I didn't know who was harder to find, E-Rock or Zinc at this point, man. So
Zinc been slacking off, man.
Man. But with that said, guys, thank you everybody for joining us. I know, big news, big deal. I love the passion in the chat. You guys are absolutely spectacular, and I know some of y'all were emotional about it, and I understand. That's why I don't bash y'all. I kind of talk y'all for ledge instead, But guys, understand this is what consequences look like, guys. This is the consequences of the gaming world's actions.
It's like we gotta talk this Xbox community off a ledge every week. Like, god damn.
Yeah. No, it's not every week. It's about once every 3 months.
Once every month, right?
No, it's about a quarter. 3 times, 3-4 times a year. And for some reason, it's always right before their showcase. There's always one major event.
But that's why they did it, though. They did it because they wanted to give you the bad news before the good news. That's exactly what they did.
Yeah. Because for some reason, every year in clockwork around this time of year, it's clockwork. There's some type of Xbox news that really pisses off the community. And then we know talking off the ledge, everything ends up all right. We have fun next month. We do our live watch party. With that, guys, we got to get going. We're out, man. I'm sorry it ended abruptly. Unfortunately, it's been way too long, man. Unfortunately, way too long.
Well, I ask you after you go off air. I gotta ask you something.
Okay, cool.